What is up, everybody? It's your boy Doody, back again with another video, and I'm gonna have to title this. I'm gonna have to create a segment for this. Apparently, every so often in the Snortex, we get a YouTube or a Kick or someone who creates content that comes out and decides to defend DSP. That's right. And normally, the defense of DSP involves attacking detractors or crapping on detractors or so on, right? So we have a new one here. This gentleman by the name of TimeLierG, who apparently has a YouTube channel, decided to create a video. And, well, you know, anytime you create a video defending DSP, of course, you're going to get some eyes and some attention on it. Big ups to Dashfire, who I think's at me at this on Twitter, to let me, you know, show me the video, and big ups to you, brother. I appreciate it. So again, let's look at his channel description. Let's see what he says about himself. Again, he has 6,400 subs, about 440 videos, and yeah, so let's see. His description has it as, I am Logan TimeLierG Elberly. I'm a fox deer spiritual Therian. My fur son is a close depiction of me. He's a follower of Christ and Shinto. I'm not sure how you could be a follower of Christ and Shinto. That's like being a follower of Christ and Muhammad. I'm a furry. God. Why is it every DSP supporter or defender has to be a weirdo? Why? Why do they have to have some mental disability? Something wrong with them? Why do they need to just be weird? Okay, and I'm sorry. If you're a furry, I don't mean to offend you, but that's fucking weird. Being a furry is weird as shit, okay? It shows a sign of mental stuntness, you know, having a stunted mentality and something very weird with you, okay? And again, if you want to be a furry, knock yourself out, but, you know, I have every right to criticize you. Good God. Let's see here. I'm a furry who likes to create videos, games, art, and love my eternally... that doesn't make much sense, but okay, I guess he meant eternal. With my husband, Wolfie. Okay. All right, so he's a furry and homosexual. Okay, ain't nothing wrong with being homosexual, whatever, but the furry thing is fucking weird. But it's weird, typically, the homosexuality and the furriness kind of go hand in hand. Anyway, and he also has a copyright disclaimer. Big ups. This video is covered by Section 107 for the Copyright Act. That's right, I'm going to be watching some of his content, reacting, so you know, if he gets butthurt over this video and tries to channel strike me, he's gonna have a big problem. Anyway, and again, I know I need to say this, don't harass the guy, just let him be. You know, he outright didn't come out and start attacking and yelling at people or calling detractors idiot. He didn't do any of that. He just wanted to defend DSP and highlight certain things. Sadly, most of his video is inaccurate. He doesn't have the facts, and a lot of it is allegedly. You're going to hear allegedly quite a bit in his video, which usually is an excuse for people that don't have the facts and just want to throw something out there, and then they throw in the allegedly because when they get called out and they find out that they were wrong or got the facts wrong, they can say, oh, well, that's what I was told. It's allegedly or whatever. So anyway, I just want to highlight that fact. Again, the video is 17 minutes long. We're not going to watch the whole thing. We are going to watch segments of it. Like I said, there are multiple. So initially, the first chapter is Kiwi Farms in the locale. First of all, brother, if you're going to go up against a Kiwi farm, man, that's you're pretty brave there for me, all right, man? So anyway, Kiwi Farms and locale culture, where he actually just goes through the forum and he reviews the comments posted on the DSP thread. It's again, very benign. He highlights people that make fun of Phil, you know, and he talks about how bad Kiwi Farms is, whatever. The next section is the defense of Darkside Phil. We'll probably check that out. The success and the legacy of DSP. Okay. His gameplay explained. I don't care about that. DSP detractors, which is what I want to focus on. And then, of course, explaining the detractor. And I did watch his video, and it looks like he has a heavy emphasis on focusing on the SOK. And by the way, the SOK haven't been around in a decade. So I'm not sure why he didn't bother talking about any newer detractors or his current detractors. I'm pretty sure he just doesn't know the lore. And you're going to hear a lot of, again, like I said, allegedly, and he's going to be mixing in stories and things that happen incorrectly. So again, he didn't bother doing any initial research. He just saw that people don't like DSP, and he probably did a YouTube search and found videos posted out there about SOK or whatever, and decided to hop on that bandwagon. So my first criticism is that if you're going to jump into Vortex and defend DSP, at least have some of your facts correct. You know what I mean? There should be no reason why you're in this video saying allegedly 1,000 times or prefacing every statement you make about detractors and add the word allegedly, okay? Because if you have to add the word allegedly, it tells me that, one, you don't know, or two, you're making it up and then throwing out the word allegedly as a defense when people call you out and say that you got it wrong. Then you can come back and say, well, that's what I was told, or that's what I was read, whatever. Okay, so that's my biggest issue with the video, is that it's not, there's no, he has no proof. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he didn't see someone doing something or posting something and actually show it. I didn't see any of that in this video. I'm going to skip some of these parts. I will start off with the defense of Darkside Phil. Let's see what he had to say there.
Wanted to bring this up because this video is about DSP, Darkside Phil, and he has been a Let's Player for an absurdly long time, a streamer for an absurdly long time. I think the first videos I saw of him were around 2008 when he was that when he was playing, I believe it was either Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas. It's been so long now that I haven't, my memory is kind of fuzzy in regards.
He's been a fan since Heavy Rain days, okay.
Regards to that. I used to watch a whole bunch of other YouTubers at the time, like the Creatures. Those guys were my favorite, honestly. But aside from that, I'm just gonna be focusing on DSP, like I said. I think the hatred towards this person is so overblown and so unjustified that I felt the need to say it. I just have to say it.
Okay, and again, like I said in the video, he likes to say a lot, but actually doesn't prove any information. I'll give you an example. Here's a good way. If you feel like he gets harassed or gets treated a certain way and you don't feel like it's deserving, then maybe show some examples of when that happened. You know what I mean? Like, say to yourself, okay, there was this one time where, I don't know, Memology or Doody streams, or that being said, or the SOK said something about him and it got a lot of traction and it pissed Phil off. Like, and then talk about why you believe that, Phil was in the right there. You don't get any of that. You get a lot of opinion, but there's no factual basis behind his opinion, and he doesn't even bother going in and watching clips or videos. You know what I mean? Like if he wanted to mention that being said, that they inappropriately target Phil, you would have thought that he would have showed maybe a clip of their stream talking about DSP and finding somewhere where he felt like they were wrong or they were lying or they were making something up. No, he didn't do any of that. He didn't do that. A lot of this is in my opinion, which I guess is fine. If you have an opinion, that's fine. But, you can't tell. My thing is, an opinion is fine. But when you actually come out and try to make factual statements and say that they're wrong without any backing, then that's where the issue lies. If your opinion is that you think he gets targeted and it's unfair, fine, but that's just an opinion. Just like Detractors have an opinion about DSP. You know what I mean? They think he's a scumbag. But the only difference between Detractors and you, we actually give examples of when he's being a scumbag. In this video, you don't find anywhere here where Phil actually did something good or was in the right and Detractors, you don't get any of that here. While if you go to my channel, pretty much every video you pull up, it's Phil doing something scummy. Either being an e-beggar, treating people poorly, banning people, mistreating people, doing something wrong, what have you, okay? So, all right, let's go.
He just sits there and he streams, It doesn't matter that he begs for money. Who doesn't need money in this day and age?
Okay, all right. So in your eyes, you feel like it's perfectly fine to e-beg. Okay. Most people don't. Most people think it is disgusting. And it's not just begging for money like, hey, support. No, it's nonstop. And I bet you this guy didn't even Google that. Dude, here's some advice for you. Go Google or YouTube Furry the Detractor. He has actual compilation videos of Phil streaming on one day, and literally in the hundreds. He's sitting there begging, beriding, crapping on his viewers. The same people that support him, he's shitting all over them. Yes. And again, you're giving out your opinion and have no facts, no clips, no videos to actually back what you're actually saying. Okay, let's keep going.
You know, I'm not a material person. I'm not a materialistic person. I am very spiritual. But everybody needs money to survive.
Yes, you follow Christ and Shinto. Oh, okay.
And going out of your way to insult him for that is wrong. It's, you know, there's no necessity to do that. It's not making him work harder. You know, it's not making him improve himself. You know, you're going at him for no reason. You know,
No, you're wrong. And again, this is the internet. If DSP doesn't want to hear the criticism that he's an e-beggar and people find it disgusting, then he needs to get off the internet and go get a job. Again, you can't put yourself out there and be a public figure and then complain that you're criticized. That would be like me coming to your channel and saying you're a bit of a freak for being a furry and you're disgusting and you're a weirdo, right? If you don't like that, there's not much you can do about that. You know what I mean? That's my opinion of you. And normally what I would do is I would highlight things that you did that would highlight my opinion on you. You know what I mean? I would say, all right, well, he's disgusting because of this, or he's disturbed because of this, right? And again, you can't stop people from reacting to putting yourself out there in public. If you don't want people to react to you, then go get a 9-to-5 job and get off the internet.
You're better off spending your time elsewhere. You know?
No, who the fuck are you to tell people what to do? No, if detractors want to spend 24 hours a day following and watching DSP and commenting, making videos and laughing at him, you have no right to tell anyone what the fuck to do with their time. Fuck off.
No, he doesn't care for all of the negative comments. You know, if anything, you're actually just helping him in the algorithm if you're actually just commenting in his comment section. And
no, again, he doesn't even understand, bro. I get frustrated when window lickers come into the vortex and don't bother doing any research whatsoever. If you know any better, DSP actually filters his comments. Nothing gets publicized until he releases it. So anything on his page, Phil personally released it. Did you know that? No, you didn't know that because you didn't bother doing any research and checking it out. But someone that actually would publish a video like you did would have actually did a little bit of legwork and would have found that that was the case. But, okay, you didn't do that, so you're wrong.
You know, giving him all this attention. And by the way, when you actually comment...
Okay, wait a minute. First of all, all right, then, so what you're saying is that detractors actually help DSP. So what's the problem there? If everyone is winning, detractors are having fun and they're being entertained, and DSP is making money, getting views and ad revenue, so what's the fucking problem? What's the problem there? I don't see any problem with it. The only people that seem to have a problem with it are maybe you and Phil himself. But again, you know, if you don't want to be criticized in public, don't be a public figure. Go get a 9-to-5 and be a private citizen.
Comment something negative to him, and he actually gives you the reaction that you're so desperately desiring. Again, you're just going to clip that and give him more attention. You're going to say, oh,
yes, he's a locale, and we find entertainment milking a locale. Myself, I'm a detractor. My channel is focused on highlighting detractors, mainly DSP. So when he acts like an idiot and he reacts and he explodes and he yells at people and he treats people like shit, I'm going to clip it. I'm going to post it. When he's e-begging like a crackhead, I'm going to clip it. I'm going to post it. What is the problem? And again, this guy right here is bitching about detractors making content off of DSP. And he's literally doing the same thing, except it's in the opposite. He's doing it where he's giving DSP praise versus detractors. You're doing the same exact thing. You're trying to milk DSP for something. You just decided you wanted to make a positive video supporting Phil versus the entire internet who thinks he's a scumbag. So I don't see any difference here. I see zero difference here. And then you made it even worse because you actually defended DSP, and you actually proved the fact that the only people that seem to defend DSP are weirdos. And no offense to you personally, but you're furry, brother, and you're just a fucking weirdo.
Oh, look, haha. You know, Darkside Phil, look, he fell for the bait. He took the bait. He's laughing at it. He's getting angry about it. And I get it. Maybe you have a channel that's monetized and you're making money from that.
No, apparently you don't get it. You don't get it because you're bitching about it.
But again, you're also helping him in that manner. You know.
Again, and what is it to you? All right.
I know in the past he's supposedly allegedly tried to take down other people's videos.
There you go. Allegedly. Yes, he did. If you would have done any research, you would have found yes, he did. He has flagged multiple channels. He's had actual people that supported him flag channels. But you might want to Google Superhound. Google DSP Superhound, and you will see years, almost decades, of his lapdog flagging channels, taking channels down, and actually getting channels removed that actually followed fair use and got their channels removed because of DSP and Superhound. But again, you're going with the allegedly because you didn't bother doing any research.
This was when he first started. People started making "This is how you don't play," right? You know, people went out of their way to film.
Yes, DSP himself have actually said that he handled "This is how you don't play" wrong, and he claimed that he didn't flag those channels or those videos. It was Machinima, which is bullshit. Machinima's not going to flag anyone. They're not going to file a copyright strike in your name unless you approve it.
Film him and, you know, take his recordings and edit it, which I have no problem with. Same with my own videos. If you want to take my own videos and edit them into a transformative work, you know, you can go ahead and do that.
Thank you. That's what I'm doing now. Anyway, that was the first section. You can watch it. It's a defense of him. I didn't see much of a defense other than this is my opinion. Whatever. Okay. I don't care about the success and legacy of DSP. It's a legacy of e-begging and being a shitbag. Everyone knows that. And his gameplay, yes, it's shitty gameplay and e-begging and begging for money. I don't care about that. Let's watch DSP Detractors.
And I guess oh, by the way, when I was talking about Kiwi Farms before, you know, I know they have their own slang term for those who actually try to get involved in other people's lives. I actually forgot what that term actually is, but you know, sometimes it's not people that are on there that go out and do this stuff. Like I said, not all users go after others on there, thankfully. You know, it's not everybody on that platform. There's some, like I said, there's some good people on Kiwi Farms, but there's this group of people that it's this group, which is, I don't think they're associated with Kiwi Farms. They didn't start there. I could be wrong on that. I apologize if I am. If I have some information incorrect here, feel free to correct me. But
okay, I'm going to correct you because, again, you didn't do any due diligence. Most people in the Vortex do check out Kiwi Farms. A lot of them are not part of the Kiwi Farms. They're just lurkers. I, myself, I'm a DSP detractor. I lurk occasionally on Kiwi Farms, but I'm not a member on Kiwi Farms. So there is a difference. And again, this necessity to link all DSP detractors up into one category is stupid. It's not a monolith. This isn't a monolith. We don't sit there in a Discord and all meet together and coordinate what we're going to do and say. Most of us, the Vortex is very big, or the Snortex is very big with many different detractors, maybe different segments, people that don't even like each other. You know what I mean? And then we do have people that like and coordinate with each other, you know, but it varies. You just don't know. But again, these people that want to defend DSP, they want to lump everyone together. You know what I mean? Like anyone that, even the groups of people that do gay ops against DSP and fuck with his real life, you want to lump all detractors and say they do the same thing. And no, it's wrong. You can't do that. So, you know, please don't do that.
There was this one group who I'm not going to name, who made it their entire purpose. Their entire purpose was to...
He's talking about the SOK.
Just ridicule and criticize, supposedly criticize DSP.
Supposedly. No, that's what they did. They ridiculed him for being a scumbag. Sons of Kojima.
DSP, you know, accusing DSP of doing a whole bunch of stuff, allegedly.
Okay, again, he doesn't even have any of the facts. He keeps just talking in just generalities. And then just because you say allegedly, how about you actually show what they said and did? Okay? And normally what this was that they just shitted on DSP because they didn't like him as a person. They didn't like his gameplay. They thought he was lazy. They thought he was an e-beggar. Those were the same things. Essentially the same gripes that Detractors have with him 18 years later are the same gripes that SOK had. They were just a little bit more obsessive with it because they actually spent more time and you know. But even that, it was whatever. If they wanted to spend their time with that, if that's what, you know, Fred Fucks wanted to do and his crew, then who are you to criticize it?
And, you know, I used to watch them until they had a falling out where there was a lot of...
Oh, so you used to watch the SOK. Okay, so you used to watch Detractor content. Okay.
Going around about them. I'm not a fan of internet drama, but that sounded like some pretty bad stuff. And...
No, it really wasn't pretty bad stuff, okay? They basically just laughed at DSP and disliked them. Just like most detractors now. 95% of the Vortex and the Snortex is just harmless mocking of DSP. That's what it is. Most people watch, laugh, make fun of him, and that's it. You do have the small percentage of people that do like to fucking interfere in DSP's life and fuck with him, but the vast majority are not. That's the small percentage of people that want to see him broke, poor, and harmed in some instances. But again, that's a very small percentage of the Vortex. Most people just like to watch him and laugh at him, me included.
It turns out there was quite a few people in that group that were doing pretty bad things. One of their members supposedly passed away, and I believe, supposedly, one of the leaders of that group said something after one of their members passed away, sadly from cancer, like blaming it on them for the person passed. Like they blamed it on the person who passed away, which, if that's actually true, which I don't.
Again, I've never heard any of this that you're talking about this. Okay. As far as I know, none of that happened. Okay, whatever. Again, man, I'm not convinced here, brother. In what I've seen so far and what I've saw before, I think your argument is just wrong. You don't. And again, like I said, you have no actual factual information. You're just spewing out opinion. Which is fine. You can have an opinion on DSP, but couch it as this is my opinion. And again, man, have some. I mean, come on, man. We have 18 years of content out there. You have more than 15 years of detractor content out there, brother. You can find something. You can find something that you can post, tweet, host in this video that would provide some defense for you. Like, I'll give you an example. If you really, the only thing out there that you might want to use against detractors might be the escort saga, which, come to find out, that was probably the only thing that's ever been out there where it was found out that the escort saga was a lie and DSP didn't hire an escort. You could have done that, but you didn't even bother doing that amount of research. All right. Anyway, let's move on to let's hear him explaining the detractors.
Like that, where you might notice a lot of people that try to bring others down online, who try to talk bad about others online, you might notice that they try to act more morally correct than that person. You know, I've seen that with myself online a whole bunch as well. You know, I've had people call me a degenerate, a whole bunch of other stuff, saying I'm a bad person.
I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm just saying you're a weirdo. You're a furry. You're a bit weird, okay? And again, that's my opinion that you're a weirdo. I think it's perfectly fine me to state that you're a weirdo. I'm not coming on here and saying people should harm you and people should hunt you. No, I'm not doing any of that. I'm just saying that you're a weirdo for being a furry, yes. I don't know anything about you except that fact that you're a furry, and I think that you're a weirdo. You have a problem with that? Okay.
For basically no reason. It's just kind of... You know, I don't mind it at all. You know, I don't mind what other people say about me. You know, sticks and stones and all that.
Okay, so then why are you making a video defending DSP and calling out detractors when they're doing the same thing? If you could do it where you're not butthurt about what people say about you, I'm assuming DSP is big enough and grown enough to be able to do the same thing. The problem is DSP isn't. He isn't grown enough or mature enough to just let shit slide and let people laugh at him and mock him. No, he can't. That's the problem. That is the problem. That's why people mock him, make fun of him, and laugh at him, because he takes the bait. He rages. And it sounds like you really don't, which is good for you. That's probably why you don't have detractors. Right? But again, you're trying to defend the guy. And again, you haven't highlighted anything here at all. You didn't talk about WWE champions. You didn't talk about the e-begging. You didn't talk about his back taxes. You didn't talk about any. You didn't talk about the 10-year plan where he scammed his mother out of $4K. You didn't talk about any of that, right? No, you just want to say that the detractors hyper focus on DSP, and you think it's wrong. Okay. All right, whatever.
It's just strange watching others try to be more morally correct, as if they're on a moral high ground, a moral high horse.
Again, you bother to do no research. If you even looked at DSP content, every single fucking stream, he's shitting on detractors and trolls. He tells them that they're mental midgets, that they're deformed. He calls them retarded. He calls them all names, insults their intelligence, calls them immature every single fucking day, okay? So again, you make it sound like this guy's just playing video games and people just come in to harass him. No. And this tells me you don't watch any content, man. You don't watch any content. What you probably watch is DSP's online videos where he edits all that shit out. I recommend you go watch Raw Phil. Go hang out on Raw Phil for a day or two. Watch content there and see exactly how many times this motherfucker blows up, insults people, trashes people, insults people's intelligence, and basically pokes the bear. And I recommend you that if you watch just a little bit of it, you're going to have a difference. And you actually might say to yourself, oh, okay, I get it. I understand why people dislike DSP. You may not agree with it because you may not like bullying or whatever, or maybe you've been bullied or what have you, right? But you can't argue with the fact that he is a terrible person. And most people mock him because of it. All right? I challenge you. If you want to sit here and create a defense for DSP, right? I recommend that you actually go and look at his content. Maybe pull up a Detractor video, a 10-minute clip of him talking. All right? And see if you can understand why so many people dislike the guy. I guarantee you, if you do, you will find that information and you will see it. And at the very minimum, you'll say to yourself, okay, I understand why they dislike him. I understand why. I challenge you. You know what I mean? If you want to come here and make a 17-minute video calling out people for making fun of a locale, then I challenge you to actually do a little bit of research. Go watch a documentary. There are thousands of documentaries about DSP that'll actually list all of the shit that he's ever done, all of the shit that he's ever said. Have at it. There is a plethora of content out there, you know, that you can watch and react to. And the other thing, too, is why is it that he has so many people that dislike him? It's not like it's a group of maybe 30 or 40 people or 100 people or 1,000 people. No, it's in... I'd probably like say 50 to 60,000 people just outright despise this man. Anyway. Alrighty, well that's the video, folks. It ran a little bit long. Shout out to TimeLierG, the furry extraordinaire. Again, don't fuck with him. Leave him alone. I mean, he's not part of the vortex or whatever. If you want to go check out the video, go ahead and maybe comment in there, but you know, it's very rare. Let's watch some of the comments here. Let's see here. Bill doesn't need your defense. He needs your money, dude. That's correct. A furry defending DSP, you really want to test the waters, don't you? Jesus, we finally found it, boys. Schrodinger's dent. Okay. Your defense of DSP relies mostly entirely on misdirection, correct? Ascribing motive and category errors, not on evidence or good reasoning. That's 100% fact. Don't we all say and do the same thing Phil does? No, weirdo. That's right, we don't. Listen, man, please educate yourself further on him. I know this word kind of lost its meaning lately, but this dude is an extreme narcissist. You fell for the classic narcissist victimhood stuff. He preys on people like you that don't do this for him. He will spit you out, and when he finds a use for you, as soon as he's done. All right. In this case, he will just ignore you because the detractors in your comment sections have seen through this bullshit for years. Yeah. Here's another L for the collection. You are actually an idiot. I'm trying to find non-detractors here, maybe people that support him. But again, it's a lot of, you do your research, brother. Yep. Asking for money for taxes, repairing his house, etc. He's not a good person. He's definitely not worth defending. That sort of sounds like someone that likes him or watches his content. Here it is right here, Sister Anna. I'm honestly shocked at how little effort went into this video. I was genuinely curious about someone who would be interested in defending DSP as a person and a streamer. But there was no structure or... Well, his structure was okay. It's just, again, he didn't provide any... He just provided several opinions, mixed up his lore, didn't have any factual statements, didn't have any video clips showing or defending what he was saying. It was just opinions that were incorrect, honestly. Let's see. In defense of Darkside Phil, no actual defense provided. Yeah, that's my only big issue with this video, is that there was no defense provided. It was just him saying Detractors are bad, DSP good. Okay. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this was as entertaining as it was for me to make it. Peace out.